Imagine stepping into a world so remote, so untouched by modern life, that it feels like you've traveled back in time. Today, we're taking you to the 10 most unknown and isolated countries in the world. Places so far off the radar that most people don't even know they exist. What makes these countries so mysterious? Why are they so isolated? And what secrets do they hold? In this video, we'll explore these hidden gems, uncovering the unique challenges that keep them isolated and the fascinating cultures that thrive in these far-flung corners of the earth. Stay tuned to find out which country tops our list as the most isolated place on the planet. 10. São Tomé and Príncipe. Nestled in the Gulf of Guinea, off the coast of Central Africa, São Tomé and Príncipe is a duo of volcanic islands that remain largely unknown to the outside world. With a total area of just over 1,000 square kilometers, these islands are like hidden jewels in the Atlantic, boasting rich biodiversity and a complex cultural history. This nation is hard to reach, with limited flights primarily from Portugal and a few African capitals. The lack of direct international routes, combined with a relatively underdeveloped tourism infrastructure, keeps São Tomé and Príncipe off the global radar. Despite its stunning natural beauty, including lush rainforests, pristine beaches, and towering volcanic peaks, few people have ever heard of this tropical paradise. The islands were uninhabited until the Portuguese arrived in the 15th century, establishing them as a major hub for the transatlantic slave trade. Over time, a unique blend of African and Portuguese cultures emerged, creating a rich tapestry of traditions that is still evident today. São Tomé and Príncipe is also known for its cocoa plantations, producing some of the finest chocolate in the world. The island's volcanic soil and tropical climate create the perfect conditions for growing world-class cocoa. 9. Timor-Leste, East Timor. Timor-Leste, located at the eastern end of the Lesser Sunda Islands in Southeast Asia, is one of the world's youngest and least known nations. Gaining independence in 2002 after a long and tumultuous history of colonization and conflict, Timor-Leste is still emerging on the global stage. Despite its rich cultural heritage and stunning natural landscapes, it remains one of the least visited countries in the world. Rugged terrain and a lack of infrastructure make Timor-Leste difficult to access. The country's mountainous landscapes and remote villages are connected by rough, often impassable roads, especially during the monsoon season. The capital, Dili, is the main gateway for travelers, but beyond it the country remains largely undeveloped, with limited accommodation options and basic amenities. Despite its isolation, Timor-Leste offers incredible diving spots, unspoiled landscapes, and a unique blend of Portuguese and tribal influences. The country's waters are home to some of the world's most pristine coral reefs, teeming with marine life, including rare species of fish, turtles, and even dolphins. Timor-Leste's diving sites are a well-kept secret among the few who have ventured to explore its underwater treasures. 8. Papua New Guinea. Located on the eastern half of New Guinea Island, Papua New Guinea is one of the most culturally diverse and geographically isolated countries in the world. With over 800 languages spoken across its many islands and mountainous regions, Papua New Guinea is a living museum of human history, where ancient traditions coexist with the challenges of modernity. Papua New Guinea's rugged terrain and remote islands make travel within the country challenging, let alone for international visitors. Many of its communities are accessible only by small aircraft or long treks through dense jungles. The country's infrastructure is limited, with few roads connecting its isolated regions, making it one of the least developed countries in the world. Papua New Guinea is home to the Huli Wigmen and the Asaro Mudmen, tribes that have preserved their unique cultures for centuries. The Huli people are known for their elaborate wigs made from human hair, which are worn as a symbol of status and identity. The Asaro Mudmen, on the other hand, are famous for their eerie clay masks, which they wear during traditional dances to intimidate enemies. 7. Micronesia. Micronesia is a region consisting of 4 states: Yap, Chuuk, Pohnpei, and Kozrai, each with its unique culture and attractions. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, Micronesia is a place where ancient traditions and modern life exist side by side, creating a unique cultural landscape that is rarely seen by outsiders. These islands are extremely remote, spread across vast distances in the Pacific Ocean. The difficulty of reaching them, combined with limited modern amenities and a lack of tourism infrastructure, keeps Micronesia isolated from the rest of the world. The region's isolation has also helped preserve its rich cultural heritage, with many communities still practicing traditional customs and rituals that have been passed down through generations. 6. Tuvalu. With a population of just 11,500, Tuvalu is one of the world's smallest and least populated countries, located in the South Pacific. This tiny island nation consists of 9 atolls scattered across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, making it one of the most remote and isolated countries on Earth. Tuvalu's extreme remoteness, lack of natural resources, and minimal infrastructure make it difficult to visit. The country's only international airport is located on the main island of Funafuti, which receives just a handful of flights each week. The rest of the islands are accessible only by boat, with travel between them often taking several days. 5. Kiribati. Kiribati is an island nation spread across a vast area in the Central Pacific, making it one of the most isolated countries on Earth. Comprising 33 atolls and reef islands, Kiribati is scattered over 3.5 million square kilometers of ocean, with its islands spread across the equator and the international dateline. The country's vast spread over the ocean, limited flight options, and rising sea levels due to climate change all contribute to its extreme isolation. Travel to and within Kiribati is challenging, with few flights connecting its scattered islands and limited infrastructure once you arrive. 4. Bhutan. Tucked away in the Himalayas between India and China, Bhutan is a landlocked kingdom known for its stunning natural beauty and unique cultural heritage. Often referred to as the last Shangri-La, Bhutan has long been shrouded in mystery, with its remote location and strict tourism policies helping to preserve its rich cultural traditions and pristine environment. Bhutan's mountainous terrain makes access difficult, with only a few roads connecting its isolated valleys and villages. The country's government has also implemented strict controls on tourism to preserve its environment and culture, requiring visitors to pay a hefty daily fee for the privilege of exploring its breathtaking landscapes and ancient monasteries. Bhutan is the only country in the world to measure success by gross national happiness rather than GDP, reflecting its commitment to maintaining its unique way of life. The country's policies are designed to ensure that development does not come at the expense of its cultural heritage or natural environment, making it a model for sustainable tourism. 3. Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan, located in Central Asia, is one of the most secretive and isolated countries in the world. Governed by a strict authoritarian regime, Turkmenistan is a land of contrasts, where ancient Silk Road history meets modern-day political intrigue. With its vast deserts, towering monuments, and tightly controlled society, Turkmenistan is a country that remains largely unknown to the outside world. The country's political isolation, limited access for tourists, and strict government controls make it one of the least visited nations globally. Turkmenistan's government tightly regulates all aspects of life, including tourism, with only a select few visitors allowed into the country each year under strict supervision. The country's remote location, bordered by the Caspian Sea to the west and the Karakum Desert to the east, further adds to its isolation. Turkmenistan is home to the Darvaza gas crater, also known as the Door to Hell, a fiery crater that has been burning for decades and remains one of the few tourist attractions in the country. The crater, located in the middle of the Karakum Desert, was created by a Soviet drilling accident in the 1970s and has since become a symbol of Turkmenistan's unique and mysterious landscape. 2. North Korea. Known officially as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea is one of the most isolated countries in the world, both politically and culturally. Situated on the Korean peninsula, North Korea is a land of mountains and plains, with a side of secrecy that has kept it largely closed off from the rest of the world. Ruled by the Kim dynasty since its establishment in 1948, North Korea remains an enigma to outsiders, with its tightly controlled society and state-run tourism industry. North Korea's extreme isolation is maintained by its government, which severely restricts access to the country and controls all aspects of tourism. Only a select few are allowed in, under strict supervision by government-appointed guides who ensure that visitors see only what the regime wants them to see. The country's political landscape is shaped by a cult of personality surrounding its leaders, with massive monuments, propaganda, and military parades dominating the public sphere. Despite its isolation, North Korea boasts some of the most elaborate propaganda and architectural monuments dedicated to its leaders, making it a place of great intrigue for the few who visit. The Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, for example, is a massive pyramid-shaped structure that has become a symbol of the country's ambitious, but often unfinished projects. The hotel, which has been under construction for decades, remains one of the most recognizable landmarks in the capital. Nauru. Nauru is the world's smallest island nation, located in the central Pacific Ocean. With a total area of just 21 square kilometers, Nauru is also the third smallest country in the world by land area, after Vatican City and Monaco. Despite its small size, Nauru has a rich and complex history, marked by periods of prosperity and decline. Today, it is one of the least visited countries in the world, with only a few hundred tourists arriving each year. Nauru's extreme isolation, limited resources, and lack of infrastructure make it difficult to visit. The country is located more than 3,000 kilometers from the nearest major landmass, with only one airline, Nauru Airlines, operating flights to and from the island's phosphate DE. And that is a wrap, my friends. Exploring these places is not just about travel, it's about discovering the stories and cultures that have remained hidden from the world. In a time when global travel is more accessible than ever, these isolated countries remind us that there are still places on Earth where mystery and adventure await. For the intrepid traveler, these destinations offer the chance to step off the well-trodden path and into a world that few have seen. If you enjoyed this journey to the most isolated corners of the world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these countries would you like to visit, and why?